Well, at least it wasn't as bad as that one time when a border officer stuck his hand down my pants and he wasn't reaching around the back. Hey, what's up? I'm Rafael de Furia, aka Rafi D is me, and I am back at it again on another night. Not a Friday night, but today's video is a little bonus video. Recently, I've been getting a lot of questions about traveling with 2 passports, a video that I did back in March, and I haven't been able to get to answering all of them, but I wanted to share a little something with you today. In that video, the subscriber who originally asked about the subject of traveling with 2 passports and how to do that in the right order was concerned about ending up in not such a great situation. And today I'm going to tell you a bit more about why it's important that you use the right passports in the right order. But before we get any further into the video, if you would like to see more content about moving to Italy, Italian citizenship, and more, please subscribe with that notification bell turned on. And if you could also give this video a like, I would really appreciate it, as it does help the channel grow. If you're traveling with 2 passports, it's very important that you know when to use which passport. If you would like to know more about that, check out the video that I uploaded a few months ago. But if you are going to be traveling with 2 passports, could be Italian, American, Brazilian, whatever, you want to make sure you use the right passport at the right time. Otherwise, you could end up in a situation like I did. Before I moved to Italy, I was living in another country. I'm not going to say the name of the country I was living in or the airline that I was flying on. Just stick with what happened. And the country that I was living in previously, I entered that country with my American passport, but while I was living there, I was able to acquire my Italian passport. So, of course, the passport that I had, all of my stamps, were all in my American passport. So, as far as the country knew, I was an American because I technically wasn't recognized as an Italian citizen until just before I left. And of course, when I was booking my flight to come to Italy, I'm an Italian citizen. So of course I booked everything on my Italian passport. But you know, hold on one second. Let me just put these down for a second just to keep them safe. I love this thing. Oh. Anyway, it took a lot of years to get that thing. I want to make sure I treat it like gold. The country that I was living in takes security very seriously. Once you get to the airport, before you get to even the tickets, they do another security check. And at that time, because I had gone in and out of that country a number of times, I had ended up having this decent security clearance because they also would give you a sticker on your passport that says what security level you have, if they think you're a threat, if they think you're okay. Whatever level that I had, they didn't even really look at me twice. They were just like, okay, yeah, just this guy, whatever. He's been here before, let him through. I'd flown through this airport plenty of times, but this was going to be my first time traveling with 2 passports. As I was waiting in the line for the first security check, I of course showed them the American passport thinking, okay, like this is of course what they want to see, no problems. But then when I got to the ticket counter, I showed them my Italian passport because the airlines needed to know that I'm an Italian citizen going to Italy. Everything was fine, no problem. But then before you would get to the x-rays, you would have this next security checkpoint where they would scan your ticket and your passport to make sure everything was fine and that you were who you said you were. So I, without thinking about it, because I had been up for almost 72 hours with so little sleep and I was taking care of all the last minute things. And so I didn't even think about it, but when I was going through this next checkpoint, I gave the woman my Italian passport with my ticket, and of course thinking, yeah, okay, my Italian ticket, my Italian passport, but yeah, no, this wasn't the right thing to do. In my Italian passport, because I had never actually used it, I didn't have any security level on there, and they didn't even know who I was. As far as they were concerned, this person in that passport has never been in the country before. So the woman started asking me, how the hell did you get here? What have you been doing? And blah, 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 blah. And I said, oh, I've been living here. I have work permits. Like, I have visa to be able to stay here. Like, I've just been living here. And then she freaked out. She said, how come it's not in your passport? What's going on? You need to go to the security desk over there immediately. I was like, oh crap. Oh no. I was thinking, well, firstly, if they're telling you you need to go to the other security people and do a further security check, dice no bueno. And of course, as I'm walking away, I realized that she wanted to see the security stamp to be able to scan that before I could go to the x-ray machine. So as I was walking away, I said, oh, I forgot I gave you the wrong passport. Here's my American passport. Can I go through? She said, nope, you have to go to the other security desk. I was like, crap. Oh, I'm so screwed. Anyway, so I go over to the other security desk. I'm waiting there, I don't know how long in line, maybe 15, 20 minutes before they finally get to me. And keep in mind, I wasn't traveling alone, and who I was traveling with was on the other side of this glass wall that you can't hear anything through. We all knew something was up. And of course, because I was in the security zone, I couldn't use my cell phone to give the update of what was happening. Eventually, I finally got to the security desk, and they started questioning me. How did I enter the country? What school did I go to when I was growing up? What is the name of the third grade teacher that I had. I don't know, like all of these kinds of questions. They asked me, what kind of work do you do? Where do you live? And they even issued an on-the-spot language test, like just an informal little thing. I knew enough of the local language to be able to get around with basic things, but I couldn't communicate full thoughts and ideas to be able to explain the situation. But whatever, they spoke English perfectly, so thankfully I was able to explain things in English, but they still said, oh, can you read this? Can you say this? And I'm like... And they kept asking me the same questions over and over and over again. And even I forgot to mention the first woman I spoke to at that first security check where she told me to go over. She said, you may be arrested. And I was like, oh crap. That's why I was like really freaking out. And then the security officer behind the desk said, we may need to take you in for further questioning. I was like, I gotta move to Italy today. I got a flight to catch. I can't be dealing with this crap right now. So whatever, I guess in the end, after what it must have been like a half an hour of them asking questions and questions and questions, I must have satisfied whatever curiosity they had, and they gave me a piece of paper to give to the other woman. Thankfully, in the end, I was finally able to go through the x-rays and make my way through passport control with my American passport, because again, I needed to make sure that I used the right passport. Whether you're in the country of your first passport or your second passport, or you're in a third part, upside down. Let's get that right. But if you're in one of the countries where you're a citizen or a third party country, make sure however they've dealt with you first is how they will continue to deal with you. Anyway, let me just put these carefully away again. It is so important that you make sure you use the right passport at the right time. You don't want to get into any kind of situation where you might be threatened with being arrested for a really simple little stupid mistake. I'm not saying you're going to get into the situation that I did, but know that it is a possibility. And look, I'm a decent guy. I don't do anything that would give anybody a reason to arrest me. Like, I don't deal with anything like that at all. So for me, like, never having really done anything in my life, plus I'm moving to Italy, it was just it was a unique experience to say the least. If you're traveling with two passports, it's very important that you know when to use which passport. If you would like to know more about that, check out the video that I uploaded a few months ago. Anyway, quick question before I leave this one off. To any of you who've done a lot of international traveling, or even just a little bit of international traveling, have you ever had any fun experiences? As always, this is an open conversation, so if you have any questions or anything to add, feel free to leave that down in the comment section below here on YouTube, or always feel free to reach out over social media or email. And if you would like to see more content about moving to Italy, Italian citizenship, and more, please be sure to subscribe with that notification bell turned on, and if you could give this video a like, I would really appreciate that. Also, if you would like to help support what I'm doing here on this channel, no, I don't earn an income from YouTube, but if you would like to help, and if you feel like my videos have helped you in the past, maybe saving you some time or legal fees, please consider becoming a monthly patron over on Patreon. You can go to rafaeldifuria.com/Patreon, or if you would just like to help out one time, feel free to visit rafaeldifuria.com/support. And as always, I'm Rafael Di Furia, aka Rafi D is me. Thank you for joining me on another beautiful night. Not a Friday night, but another beautiful night. I'll see y'all on Friday. Hope you have a great week, and I'll see y'all later.